Hey everybody, Adam here for True North Wilds, and this is January's unboxing of the RLM Elite Walleye box. Unfortunately, this is my last RLM Elite box for about 6 months. They are taking a break, so that's kind of sad, but I'm excited to see what I got, and I am looking forward to their relaunch, which hopefully will be bigger and better in about 6 months. You can check them out and keep track of them. Simplefishing.ca. They do have a Facebook page on it's Simple Fishing on Facebook. They are simplefishing.ca on Instagram, so you can follow them there and stay updated, and they're still posting content and pictures and blogs and such, and you can sign up for their email newsletter to see when they are relaunching, and of course I'll be getting that on the relaunch as well, and starting up the videos again for this box. You can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/TrueNorthWilds, on Instagram @TrueNorthWilds, and of course our blog site, TrueNorthWilds.com. That being said, let's take a look at what we got for the sadly last walleye box until middle of summer. So I got a really cool picture here of a walleye, and this is the What's in the Box card. I love that picture. Got the wrapping, of course. I'll get out of the way. Winter sale card, 20% off of the items in the store there for the Elite apparel, with a sale code WINTER20. So if you want to check out some sweet hoodies, t-shirts, hats, toques, which are useful in winter, you can do that and use that code WINTER20. Alright, let's take a look what we got here. Okay, so we got some X-Zone lures in a different package than I'm used to seeing. Usually it's a black package with green writing. Classic hand pour series, so premium hand pour action. Fat Slammer. The X-Zone Lures Fat Slammer in Gobi Crush is the color. So this is scented, definitely scented. Super salty, super soft, trigger more strikes. Doesn't say what the scent is. Does say that it's not for human consumption. Yeah, so this looks like a really nice plastic. I have this shape, but smaller, in their normal lures. I'm assuming this is some sort of premium line of X-Zone. The hand pour series is what they call it, so it's a little bit beefier. It definitely feels beefier. It definitely feels a little bit tougher. Still got a pretty good stretch to it, and you can see all the salt in there. It's definitely salty. It's got really, really nice sparkles in here. Something I don't see too often is this sort of rectangular shaped sparkle. Most of it's just your standard sort of round glitter flakes. This has purple rectangular, it's like a shredded sort of look, but a really nice shiny purple, and it's got some shiny gold in there. All around really nice color. Dark on top, white on the bottom, which is your classic bait fish pattern. Really nice plastic. I like that. That'll definitely work for walleye. I like that these are a little bit bigger and beefier. So with this hand pour series, this is the first time I've seen this hand pour series. Definitely I love the feel of that. I like that a lot better than the classic X-Zone lures. I can tell you that right away. That'll work definitely for walleye, bass, pike. I'm happy about that for sure. Next up we have Drunken Mullet. Brand is Chase Baits. Chase Baits Drunken Mullet. I don't think I have. I do think I have a Chase Baits lure or two. I haven't used any yet because I believe I got them quite late in the season. This is an interesting looking lure. So not a lot of color on here. It's a very see-through sort of plastic, and there's a tint of yellow on top. It's got a nice stripe of silver along the side. The head is very silver, so it sort of directs that attention of a predator to go after the head. It's got the prop tail, which is neat. It's got joints. Sort of a limited range of motion on the joint, so it'll be a tight sort of wobble. And it's got these beads at the end of the propeller before the hook at the very end, which is kind of interesting because usually you see the hooks hanging from the bottom, but this one is sort of extended out past the propeller. I kind of like that. I think that's pretty neat. I'm not too familiar with this style of lure. Pop tail, 2 segments. Drunken mullet would be the color, I guess. Or no, drunken, it's a Chase Baits brand. The drunken mullet is the model. The color is Wheeze, whatever that means. This might be a really interesting lure to use in the spring for pike. I think pike will really like the action on this. I don't think I'll get much action on this for walleye around here. This isn't really something that I would fish for walleye in this area, but for pike, this is going to be a killer. I'm interested to try that. I haven't ever really used anything quite like that. I like the extension of the hook at the back, and I think, again, going back to catching pike, I think that'll really help with catching pike because they tend to come from the side or from behind as opposed to walleye, which tend to go for the head. So that's interesting. Interesting. Savage Gear 3D Play Lip Lure. Slow float. 2 to 4 foot dive depth. Lots of staples in the plastic. So another jointed swim bait. More joints on this one. You got the 3 joints on this one. A little bit of a wider range of motion. The photorealistic paint job, or if it's paint or if it's, I don't know, lasered on there or however they do it, but it's that photorealistic, very shiny. It's got a lot of flash to it. It's got a lot of reflection. And then I like the tail is like a hard rubber. The rest of the body is this hard plastic, and the tail is sort of a harder rubber. So give you a little bit of extra action. It's very, very detailed. Inside the joint, there's even the red made to look like the gills, and it's even got the lines in it, and it looks like gills. It's got the fins. It's the whole body. Like I said, it's photorealistic, so it looks really nice. It looks like it's got pretty good movement. I think that'll give a lot of good action. It'll give off some noise too with those joints. Those hard joints will make a little bit of noise clicking as you go through. And then you got that slow float. So you dive down to your 2 to 4 feet wherever you want to target, let it slowly float, dive it down again with that wobble action. That jointed action will give you some, get you some attention for sure. This will be good in the spring for walleye when they're shallow, but only in the spring. Walleye generally go deeper as soon as early spring is done, so this will be sort of an early spring lure, which is good for me. And then after that, I'll probably transition it to a bass or a pike lure, where I can fish shallow for a greater time of the year. More hard baits. So we got the Lunker Hunt Distress 6F, the Impact series. I've gotten a few of these, so these I am actually familiar with. It's floating. It's at a 6 foot dive depth, so that's something I can use for a majority of the year. Something that definitely walleye will go after. Lunker Hunt, great brand, of course. I love that Lunker Hunt puts the dive depth on the lure, because I so often lose the boxes and I forget what everything dives to, and I usually end up just guessing based on the bill. Thank you, Lunker Hunt. I love when you put the depth right on the lure. This one's got a pretty hefty rattle, very hefty rattle, and you can feel it in there. When I'm shaking it, it's moving the whole lure in my hand. That's a big ball bearing in there. Nice colors, nice and bright. Dark top, light bottom, nice bright green. That's definitely going to attract some walleye, and I can use this, like I said, for a good chunk of the year. With that big thump, I'll attract bass, I'll attract pike with this as well. Nice profile on it. Walleye will for sure go after this, so that's a good walleye lure year round. We got some hooks, some Mustad barbless hooks. I know barbless hooks around here are mandatory, so I always like getting hooks that I don't have to fuss about trying to pinch the barbs down. Some plastics, ECT, East Coast Tackle. I'm not familiar with them. That is a American company. So this is a nice size. This is something I actually probably will use this for ice fishing for the rest of the ice fishing season. It's the appropriate size. I can throw a nice small jig head on there and I can jig this through the ice. So I'm happy about that. Walleye will go after this for sure. It's the appropriate size for walleye through the ice. In the spring, I'll be able to get walleye on this. It's a nice color. It's a nice profile. Nice paddle tail in there is going to give it a lot of really sensitive action, very sensitive to twitching. So again, through the ice, this will be pretty useful because every little twitch when you're vertically jigging is going to give you some pretty good tail action. And then the plastic feels nice and beefy. I think the tail connection is pretty thin, so we'll see how that holds up if I get onto any big walleye or onto any pike or anything to start chewing that up. But it feels pretty solid. Nice sparkle, nice gold sparkle in there. Nice gold color. Sort of a, you can see through it, but not quite. So it's not a solid gold, but it's got these nice gold sparkles inside, which I really like. That'll look really good through the ice, I think. And then in spring, I think that'll work for walleye in the spring. And then as I transition to bigger lures for walleye, this is a good size for smallmouth bass going out of spring and into summer when I can stay shallow in the rocks and stuff. That's a really good size for smallmouth bass. So I'm happy with that. Last up, we have Lucky Strike Old Wooden Plug. Love it. The old wooden plug from Lucky Strike. So, I love old classic looking lures. This is a perfect example. It's just wood. You can see it, you can feel it. It's carved out of whatever type of wood. It's got the eyes drilled into it or poked into it or however they do it. It's got these bulging eyes. It's not painted on. There's actually gold. I don't know if it's a rivet or what it is, but it's actually stuck into the wood, and then there's this black pin or something that's stuck into that, so it gives it depth. Dive, nice, you know, the old classic metal dive bill. I love the way that the hooks are connected here with they're screwed into this holder. It's not just a split ring. Nice and secure. Everything about this just vintage look, and usually those old vintage ones work really well. Doesn't say what it dives to, but I don't imagine it's very deep. This will be more of a surface or just under the surface type of lure. Green perch is the color, and the color is really nice. It's got this nice green and yellow pattern, nice perch pattern. It's got the stripes like a perch. It's got these nice splash of red on the fins, or where the fins would be on the bottom here. A little bit of red around the mouth. Just an all-around really nice lure. I think that'll attract all kinds of things. In the spring, for big walleye when they're shallow, this will work well. And again, moving out of spring, when the walleye go deeper, I'll probably continue to fish this shallow for big pike. Pike will definitely go after something like this. And this is a nice sturdy lure that for pike will be really good, especially with the way these hooks are secured on and everything, and the way the hooks can be angled front or back. So pike will go after this for sure after I am finished using it for walleye. Definitely a nice lure. I love old looking, classic looking lures like this. So I'm happy about that. That's it for January, and that's it, unfortunately, until approximately 6 months from now, when I am hoping to have another box or multiple boxes, hopefully to share with you for their relaunch. I will keep you guys posted if it's going to be earlier or later. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Hopefully everybody else is. Again, you can follow them on Facebook under the Simple Fishing name. Simplefishing.ca is their website and their Instagram handle. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/TrueNorthWilds, on Instagram @TrueNorthWilds, and our blog site, TrueNorthWilds.com. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're going to miss this box or not, and if you are looking forward to the relaunch, if you're planning on subscribing in 6 months from now, or any other comment that you want to leave. I always appreciate feedback. Don't forget you can like and subscribe down there, those buttons. It really helps me out a lot for the channel. As usual, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you outside.